Hey, welcome back to the challenge. I'm Tim, and I'm here with Amber today. She's going to be demonstrating. I'm still Tim, always. But today we're going to focus on twisting yet again, and we're going to follow up with back bending tomorrow. So one of the things that I want you to be conscious of as you're twisting, we worked on not collapsing into the twist, but today we're going to pay attention to your front leg in the twist, the tendency of the stabilizers in the hip to turn off and the leg to fall inward. So we're going to see if we can stabilize as we're twisting. So let's begin today's practice in child's pose. Start off in child's. Oh, geez. So give yourself a moment here to stretch out on your mat and connect to your breath. Notice your breath print today. What does it feel like in your rib cage? What does it feel like in your belly? Can you feel your shoulders and your neck relax so that the breath can travel down a little deeper? Then come up onto your hands and your knees. Cat-cow. Round your back and look back at your navel as you exhale. Inhale into extension. Exhale into flexion. And inhale into extension. One more time, see if you can slow down your breath to increase the range of motion a bit. Good, then come into neutral. One leg at a time, step back into plank pose. All right, as you hold in your plank, feel your shoulders align right over the heel of your hand. Shoulder blades on the back, reach into your hands. Then in your legs, as you press down into the space between your big toe mountain and second toe mountain, lift up on your inner thighs, engage your leg muscles. See if you can breathe all the way down below your navel again. All right, then let's get moving. Stretch back into downward facing dog. Inhale into plank pose. Exhale into downward facing dog. Inhale into plank. Exhale into down dog. Inhale into plank pose. Exhale into down dog. Then walk your hands back to your feet and fold forward at the back of your mat. Put a little bend in your knees and clasp your hands behind your back. Rest your thumbs onto your sacrum area. Let your elbows bend and try to turn your elbows towards each other so you can feel the muscles in your back start to turn on. And then see if you can lift your hands off your buttocks a bit. Now you remember when I did it and how horrible it looked. We can see how much mobility that Amber has. Oh man, I better have her teach the mobility classes from now on. Change the interlock of your hands, take the other index finger on top. Then set your fingertips down onto the ground. As you inhale, find your flat back. And then walk your hands out, one handprint at a time, downward facing dog. Inhale into plank pose. Lower onto your belly. Inhale into low cobra. Then lift your hands up an inch. Place your hands back down and roll into upward facing dog. Stretch back into downward dog. Then look in between your hands. Walk your feet up to the front. Inhale into a flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come all the way up, raise your arms. And twist open to your right as you exhale. Inhale, reach back up. Exhale to your left. Inhale, back up. Exhale to the right. Inhale, back up. Exhale to the left. Inhale, back up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Step back and lower, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. I like Amber's moves when she does this. She looks like it's like a dance. For me, I look like I'm like a robot. Like I'm like the Tin Man. I'm like, okay, move my arm. I'm gonna practice off this video. Bend your knees and look forward. Step or float up to the front. Inhale into a flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, Samastiti. Inhale, raise your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Step back and lower, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Now raise your right leg up behind you as you inhale. Exhale, step your foot up by your right thumb. Pause there for a moment. Inhale to lengthen in your lunge. Now press down through the right center heel. Here's where we're going to focus on the stabilization of your front leg. So as you push in your right heel, you want your right knee to track right over your ankle so it's not caved in at all. As you engage the muscles in your right outer hip, that's what's going to help to keep your knee tracking. So as you turn on the outer hip, keep the inner leg long, come up into crescent lunge, raise your arms up. Press your center heel down. Keep the knee tracking, outer hip turned on. Now bring your right hand to your right outer hip. When you go to twist, the knee is going to want to fall inward. Don't let it. Reach and twist, hook your left elbow to your right knee. Oh dang, that was good, Amber. All right, now bring your palms together. What's going to happen? Knee's going to want to fall in again. Press down into the center of your foot. Center heel, balance in between your big toe mound, little toe mound, strong outer hip. Now breathe into the line through your back ankle. So you're looking through that long line of energy. Place your hands back down onto the mat. Step back into down dog or Adho Vinyasa, it's up to you. Inhale your left leg up. Exhale, step your foot up by your thumb. Inhale to lengthen in your lunge. Pause there, glance down at your left leg and make sure it's doing what you think it's doing. Turn on the muscles in your outer hip and buttock so that your knee tracks. Inhale, come up, crescent. Then bring your left hand to your left outer hip. Reach and twist, hook your elbow to the outside of your knee. Pause there for a moment. Make sure that you're on that center heel again. Track the knee. Breathe all the way down past your navel. Place your hands back down on the mat. Step back into down dog or Adho Vinyasa. Bend your knees and look forward. Step or hop to the front. Inhale into a flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale into chair pose. Bend your knees, sit back. Stand Samastiti. Inhale into chair pose. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. Step your right foot, warrior one. Inhale, raise your arms up. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Step your left foot. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. I said I was going to say for the last time, but I'm just going to remind you one more time that with those vinyasas, work your way up to them. Now, I know a lot of you guys, you're newer to the practice. Amber's been practicing for a long time. She's really dedicated. So as you can see from her long practice, she just flows through this with ease. So make sure that you're listening to your body. Don't be jamming into it if it feels like it's too much. Let's go through one more salutation. Bend your knees and look forward. Step or float up. Inhale into a flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale into chair pose. Stand Samastiti. Inhale, chair. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Step back to dog or take a vinyasa. Step your right foot, warrior one. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Step your left foot. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Then bend your knees and look forward. Step or hop to the front. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale into chair pose. Bring your hands to prayer and sit back deeper into your chair. Now without your knees twisting, twist to your right. Hook your left elbow. So just notice that the lower body is going to want to turn off and compensate to take you into the twist. The tendency will be for your left shin to sink forward. So instead, draw your left shin back into alignment with your right. Feel like you're sitting back into a chair. Then as you press down into your left elbow, spread across your collarbones. Open up across your chest. Engage your outer hips, come back to chair pose, arms up. And twist to your left. Notice how that right knee wants to sink forward. Draw the right knee back into alignment with the left. And then see if you can aim your sit bones straight back behind you. And then like I drew a line down the center of your mat, lengthen through that midline. Aim the crown of your head out through that line at the same time. Now see if you can drop your hips another inch and lift your heart 2 more inches. Compact your outer hips for stability, then come back up, arms up, chair pose. Fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, flat back. Step back to down dog or take a vinyasa. Step your right foot for warrior one. Inhale, reach up. Then bring your hands behind your back, press your knuckles together in your middle upper back, or take a reverse prayer if you can do that funky thing with your wrists. Straighten your right leg, step your back foot a little bit closer, and then as you inhale, lift your chest like a back bend from your upper back. Exhale, lengthen out over your right leg. Now press down through your feet. Inhale, come back up to stand. Right hand on your hip, reach your left arm straight up. As you exhale, reach forward, get as much length as you can, reaching through your arm as you reach back through your sit bones. Then put your hand down and twist. Take your right arm up. So just like you're practicing in that chair twist, reach your sit bones straight back behind you. And now for just a moment, glance down at your mat and notice if you've rounded over towards your right leg, can you instead lengthen through that imaginary line running in between your feet? So as you go to reach down and twist, the tendency is going to be for the thoracic spine to give up because of all the tension we tend to hold there, and for it to want to hunch over to get the hand down. Instead, can you elongate through the thoracic spine using your breath? So you're decompressing where you tend to sink and collapse in the joints there. Don't do it so aggressively where you strain on your neck, jaw, shoulders. Let the breath move through your energy centers. Just 5 more minutes here in this pose. Hold here. All right, good. Now, from here, bring your right hand down. Step back to down dog or take a vinyasa. Step your left foot, warrior one. Inhale to come up. Bring your hands behind your back. Straighten your left leg and step a little bit closer. Inhale, back bend in your upper back. Exhale, fold forward out over your leg. Love doing this stretch right before the twisted triangle because I feel like it gives your hamstrings a little time to open up before you try to get into that pose. Kind of gnarly, the twisted triangle. Press into your feet, inhale, come up. Left hand on your hip, raise your right arm straight up. Then reach and twist. Place your hand down. Find your length as you take your left arm up. Then take a moment here. If I had ropes, if you had a set of ropes, you'd have somebody with their rope right across the front of your hips pulling you straight back. There you go. And then if you had another yoga slave to help you, they'd be helping you to lengthen through the sides of your ribs straight ahead. They'd like hook you from your armpits and like some weird tug of war of traction, torture. And then you'd have yet another person with their knee right in your middle upper back, and they'd be pushing the back ribs towards your bottom hand to help you rotate from there. Hopefully without getting sand on your mat at the same time. Bring your left hand down, step back into down dog, or take a vinyasa. Bend your knees and look forward. Jump or step to the front. Inhale into a flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale into chair pose. Stand Samasthiti. So in week 2, we're introducing standing balancing. We're going to try to twist while balancing, which is challenging. There's a lot going on. Push down through your left heel, hug your right knee up. With your hands on your right shin, stand tall without tucking under. So you can see that Amber can pull that shin way in towards her and still keep her spine in neutral, like we practiced on hip flexion day. Now, if you have the hamstring flexibility too, you could take the big toe out in front of you. But if you aren't able to hold the mountain pose line like Amber's doing, then you might just work with holding the knee. That's fine. But you can see that she's got this flexibility here to stretch the leg. Now from here, you're going to change hands and twist to your right. So the left hand goes to the foot, or if you're doing the shin, you just hold the shin and open up. Come back to center and raise your arms up. Lower your leg down. Bring your hands to your heart. Now we're going to practice our drishti, which is the gaze. So the go-to when in doubt is nasagra drishti, looking just past the tip of your nose, I would point ahead of you. And I talked about that, like taking in the whole 180 degrees, not focusing the eyes. So that's your drishti. When your eyes are like that, you'll notice that you have a more meditative quality. When you stare at something, the brain tends to harden and focus on a subject. Versus if you take in the whole 180 degrees, you'll feel that you can just sink into the space almost. Hug your left knee up to your chest. Now, if the balance becomes difficult though, you can fix your gaze at a point ahead of you. That's okay too. But eventually it should go into that just past the tip of the nose, 180 degrees, taking in the scenery around you. Hold there, take your big toe. I mean, I don't know, it could. Whatever works for you. Change hands and twist, open up to your left. Reconnect to your breath. Come back to center and raise your arms up. Lower your leg down. Bring your hands to heart. So as we progress in the weeks, we're going to work up to linking together more poses, which is going to be more challenging. But initially, we're just trying to build on doing 2 poses in one vinyasa. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, make a flat back. Step back into down dog or take a vinyasa. Vashisthasana, side plank. Roll onto the outside edge of your left foot. Take your right arm up. All right, so we've been working these side planks. Remember, you can set your knee down to find the alignment. That's cool. Otherwise, you can go right into the full thing. Slowly with control, come back to plank position and change sides. Good, then come back into plank. Come into plank on your forearms. Oh geez, the side plank torture. Roll onto the outside edge of your left foot. Take your right arm up. Change sides, bring your right elbow down and take your left arm up. Bring your left elbow back down. Hold here, 5 more breaths. So as you hold, there's going to be a tendency to sink into your shoulders, for them to collapse into each other, into your neck. So spread across your collarbones and then reach from the bottoms of your shoulder blades towards your armpits. So that should feel like they're broad and they're on your back. They're not collapsing into your neck. Now at the same time, like I had my hand right here at the bottom of your ribcage. Remember how to engage the transverse on breath day? So cinch in from all 4 sides there at the bottom of the ribcage. Feel the navel draw back into the spine. Make sure the ribs aren't hanging. But don't crunch your neck to do it, neck long. Don't worry, we still got 2 more breaths to hold. If you're like worried, like, oh, I haven't perfected this transverse action yet. I wish I could hold for a lot longer. Don't worry. Now engage your legs and your glutes too. Feel when your glutes engage, it helps the pelvic floor to wake up. And then slowly lower your hips down. Woo, Sphinx pose. All right, now bend your right knee, point your right big toe straight up towards the ceiling, sky, whatever. Now for some, it might be a lot of stretch just to hold this sphinx and try to hold the leg like this. For others, you could reach back and grab a hold of your foot. If it feels like it's sinking into your lower back, that's just a sign you're a little too tight in your hips and your quads. So you just work with both hands down. Eventually you'll get there. Change sides. Release that. Stretch back into down dog. Then set your knees down, set your elbows down, down dog on your forearms. Preparations for Shirshasana. Clasp your hands, and as you press down into your elbows and your forearms evenly, curl your toes and lift your knees up just all the way up. Okay, now remember your transverse action to hold the rib cage in its neutral position. Now can you maintain that and keep the work in your shoulder blades as you start to walk your feet in closer? Walk in as close as you can without letting your upper back round, like I had my knee there. Then see if you can raise your right leg up. Still maintaining your foundation, solid in your forearms, rib cage in, blades in their spot. Change legs. Lower that leg back down. Set your knees down, rest in child's. Arms stretch back, knees together for this one. And then bring your arms back along your side. Let your back round and open up. Come back up onto your hands and your knees. Stretch back to down dog. Hop through to seated. Stretch your legs out in front of you, sit up tall. Hug your right knee into your chest. So the closer that this leg comes in, the more it's going to challenge the spine's ability to stay upright. So your back is going to want to round and collapse. So for many, you benefit by sitting on a block in this pose, but you can see that Amber could still sit upright when she has her hip deep in flexion. Twist to your right. Now also, instead of letting that knee sink into the midline, push through your foot and keep your right knee moving towards upright. Breathe all the way down into the bottom of your spine and feel that it's becoming buoyant in your lower back. That each of the discs is getting equal space. Over time, Amber wouldn't know this because she's still young, but as you start to get older like me, then oh man, those spaces can start to deteriorate. And then over time they start to collapse on each other. So when we exercise and when we do yoga, when we can help to create space there, it's so good for them. Equal space, that is. Come back to center and change sides. And so when you twist, instead of twisting downward, which is going to encourage more collapsing into the spine, twist upward like a bottle cap unscrewing. And use your full breath. Full exhalation all the way down. Feel the side ribs draw back in and down, the pit of the abdomen. Pelvic floor engage at the end of the exhalation, and then breathe back into those structures, promoting the space and the buoyancy there. Come back to center. Stretch both legs out. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, reach for your feet, Paschimottanasana. Now, remember in forward bend day, how you could do a little bend in the knees, how Stacy showed that helped if you had the really tight leg and spine situation to get the hip flexion. So that's always an option. You can add the little bend as you hold this final stretch. Then lie down onto your back for Savasana. Let your feet fall open, palms turn up at your side. I would try to guide you into relaxation here, but what could be more soothing than the sound of the ocean? Gently bend your knees. Roll over onto your side. And press yourself up to seated. Bring your palms together. Thank you. Namaste. Hey, well, thanks so much for joining us today, and thanks to Amber for coming out. Make sure to check her out on the Instagram. She's a local yoga teacher here, and she's got her own yoga thing going too. So check her out. It's at Amber Melanie, and you can find her on there. I'll put the link below too. Have a good one, and we'll see you next time.